Hey guys, just wanted to get online for a little bit and just kind of give some of my thoughts with the crypto space because it's been a little while since I kind of was kind of giving my some of my thoughts on the market, and so I kind of wanted to focus on that a little bit and give you guys my take. I mean, overall, it's been pretty down. Like if we're just taking a look, like right now, like I've got this sorted by the top performers today, which is the hot coin, this Holo coin, which has been pretty popular on some of the decentralized exchanges. If we're taking a look at some of the markets it's been offered in, it's still relatively new. You can see here, really just kind of came onto the markets around like late April, early May. There was a huge surge in volume here not too long ago, and this has been pretty popular on IDEX. Uh, Really, IDEX is kind of the main decentralized exchange. Seeing it, doing as much volume as it is on Binance is pretty intriguing. Yeah, I've been seeing, BitConnect has been kind of pumping. Let's take a look at BitConnect real quick. So there's been a little bit of renewed interest in this project. So yeah, actually, I did go shopping for a new computer. This is my new computer right here. So I'm gonna get probably another one, but I'm liking this one. It's really powerful. So it's spiked a little bit and it's come down. I guess it's 68 cents right now, but let's see if we can maybe look at maybe a 7-day chart. I mean, yeah, you can just see just a little bit of renewed interest here in the last day. I've had some people kind of talking about it. So I like kind of what's going on with that. Like I like the idea behind that of trying to make something positive out of that, since it was it has been such a negative thing, and so like I like kind of where that's going. So I like, I'm still holding, my coins. I think that if we're taking a look at some of the top coin holders in BitConnect, there's a lot of others that are kind of in the same boat. There's a lot of people still holding those coins. So that's been doing pretty well today. What have been some of the other ones that have been doing well? Let me pull back here a sec. I mean, that's still kind of like gonna. It'll be interesting to see how that progresses. I guess that's just how I'm gonna leave that. I mean, I want to see it do well, obviously, because I'm holding the coin. So, and I think others that are holding the coin want to see it do well. And hopefully something comes out of that. I think everyone's still kind of like holding out, a little bit of hope, hoping something happens. But yeah, some of the other ones. MOAC. Can I get your thoughts on Steam? Unless it's negative, then please keep it to yourself. So Steam, I think, I'm interested in kind of doing some stuff with Steam. Like I've mentioned on my streams before, like I got away from it twice because of some of the censorship issues. I think that there could be a lot of interest in the DTube, DLive space. I don't know if the adoption's quite there yet. It's just something I'd like to get into a little bit more. I just haven't had time to kind of dive into it. But I want to get more involved with Steam, and I want to start doing some stuff with Steam. So I'm going to be doing that at some point when I get a little bit of time to kind of focus on it. I could see some potential of really kind of getting behind that project. So I like Steam. It's got the biggest blockchain in crypto. It's got a really good. It's still so early in that project. So I think that's going to be. I think it's going to be one that's going to be a good long-term hold. Still hold my BCC, never sold. I figured to go down with a ship. Got almost 600 of them. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how many I've got. I would have to go look. I've got it spread out a little bit. I'm not staking. I want to get more into like the staking aspect of it. I was just pretty much holding it on the internal exchange. Hoping that maybe they were going to do something like honor the 363 price, though that's probably not going to be realistic of holding out hope for that. But I'm just kind of holding it on the exchanges right now. Let's see what else I can kind of look at. I've actually been really interested in this PundiX project. It's really down today. This might be a good time to pick this up. But PundiX, with the way that they're doing some of their payment processing, like the POS, point of sale aspects of being able to kind of like use it as a payment system, I really like this project. I want to get a little bit more into this. Let's take a look and see where it's. And the volumes have come down a little bit. Just taking a look at the chart, it's come down. Like it really had kind of spiked here not too long ago, and it's really come down in price. But this could be very well like a bottom of this market here. We were seeing a lot of volume in this not too long ago. So let's see here. Quite a bit in Binance, Hotbit, LA tokens coming up again. I don't know much about I haven't gotten into some of these other exchanges, so, but yeah, I like that project. I think that's one I'm pretty bullish on. Let's take a look at a few others that I kind of like. It's really sideways market if you're looking at just the space really kind of as a whole, less than 1%, 1, 2, 3%. So not a whole lot. Holding quite a bit of Tron, and like to see that project do well. I've been hearing quite a bit about Ethereum Classic is kind of a good one just because of kind of some of the stuff we're seeing with Coinbase. I think that is maybe why we're seeing prices up a little bit. It's hard to say, but not a whole lot. Like, I mean, that's kind of the thing I think we're seeing is like, there's not as much movement like up and down. We're not seeing some of those crazy volatility and swings that we have been seeing in the past in the top 100. So if you're a altcoin and you're getting into some of the altcoins and like it's gotten to the point where it's in the top 100 in terms of its market cap. I mean, it's you're looking at like $100 million coin in terms of its market cap valuation, and it typically has a little bit of a decent adoption in some of the different exchanges, and so it tends to have a little bit of price stability. This is kind of an aspect that you would have been able to profit quite a bit from doing like arbitrage in some of the different exchanges where maybe you don't have as much of that opportunity with not as much movement in the market. But the market as a whole pretty much down like around 252 billion in terms of its market cap. So just getting a little bit of a peek of that. Taking a look at the FOMO project, like this is one that's still been in like the 21,700s for quite a while. So I mean, it's still going to take some time for this one. It's been interesting to kind of see some of the stuff they've been talking about, like sniping contract. This counter's getting much lower. So I think that my original theory was that this was going to be something that was going to go on, for the foreseeable future. But the way the clock is progressing and some of the stuff that they've been talking about in Discord and how essentially getting like locked out of like some of the blocks or something, and how that can have an effect on the timer, that there might be some strategies there. So it's kind of more like technical, and when you start kind of getting into that aspect to it. So I don't know if it's really something that like, I'm personally going to get into, but I like kind of looking at it from the outside and seeing how that project is gonna progress. Proof of weak hands has been continuing to kind of slide. There was a huge buy-in here when it really was kind of starting to dip, but I mean that's why I sold out of my P3D. Was I was anticipating that we're going to see this contract slowly bleed for a little while until perhaps the new game launches. Dividends are not going to be as great in that project, and of course with the valuation continuing to decrease, your coins are going to be worth less and less. So that was kind of like, I'm not sure if that's going to be like, I want to see it come down to probably like maybe below 40,000 or so, and you know, maybe looking to buy back in. I've been interested in this Linea project. I've kind of taken a peek into this. So this Linea project is kind of an interesting one. Again, kind of in this kind of gambling space. I kind of like the way the website's laid out. I think that it still is very, very early in that project. So I'm kind of looking more into that. If anyone has kind of some interest in kind of getting into that project, this one is kind of like a Zephyr, like kind of another version of Zephyr. Let's take a look at Zephyr. But Zethyr's been doing pretty well. Someone left, you know, a comment the other day on one of my videos, basically asking about some of the regulation with, like, you know, having some sort of like gambling license or something with a project like this, a decentralized, you know, gambling site like this. And so that's kind of an interesting way of looking at it from, you know, a legitimacy standpoint. The contract's been going up, you know, sitting at 6,000. So I think this has potential to get into the 10,000 ETH in that contract. So I'm liking that one. And so I've been pretty invested in it. I haven't been able to check some of my status on some of those projects right now. Like I just got this laptop and kind of been doing some different things and talking to some different people and having some interesting conversations. So it's gonna be something I'll probably get into a little bit more here. Airbnb is not a scam, but could scam out at any point. It's centralized. Just deal with it and move on. I mean, there's a Clover. Please explain ARB to Crypto Blake, as he's continually called it a scam. I believe you have said it's one of your biggest holdings. Yeah, it is. So I mean, you know, everyone's gonna have their own opinion, but like, you know, I like what I want to see is if you're gonna critique a particular platform, I want to see, you know, a little bit more substance behind, you know, some of your opinions and whatnot. Like I've worked on a platform very similar to that in California, and so I really like the platform. I've been talking with David quite a bit. So there's that type of platform we haven't seen quite yet. And so that's why I really like it, because I think it's going to be the first really full-blown arbitraging platform to kind of get in and profit from moving different positions around in the different exchanges and making that a little bit of an easier process. And that is the way that website's designed. It's not designed to scam out. I mean, it's there's several aspects to it that are on the smart contract. So, I mean, I'm willing to entertain some different opinions, but I you know, just calling something a scam doesn't make it a scam. If the Zephyr website gets DDoS'd by Big Brother, then the contract will work, but the gambling will not work without the interface. Yeah. Those are, you know, the nice thing about, you know, there's the contract, and then there's also, you know, the website interface. So there's like two different elements to it. You know, you can attack the website interface or the way to interact with the contract, but there's also backup ones. So that's the decentralized aspect to these projects that is going to be interesting to see how they are interpreted, you know, from, I guess, a little bit of a regulation standpoint. But yeah, what else I was going to talk about here? I got a few things I kind of have to, I can't stay on too long. I got to make a few phone calls and talk to some people, so I'm going to be doing that here in a little bit. But this is kind of interesting. If we're taking a look at DappRadar, there's been a lot more users on FOMO3D over the Proof of Weak Hands project, you know, just recently passed. And I think that's part of the reason is because of the, you know, the interest in the timer continuing to kind of come down. I think more and more people have their eyes on that project. So the quick game is like, it's not even like hardly, let's take a look at the quick game. Yeah, I mean, the quick game has really been like, you there's only like 0.53 ETH in there. So that project has kind of been has changed quite a bit. Like it's more one it's like if you're getting into learning a little bit more about like some of the dynamics of putting in keys, it's almost like a good practice run for learning how to kind of interact with something that has a much bigger pot like the long contract. So even with ETH coming down, we're still looking at like a $9-10 million pot. Is Linea a clone? Does it have a backdoor? Yeah, I mean Linea is. I haven't really vetted it enough. I think I threw like an Ether 2 into it a while ago, but the contract's really doesn't have a whole lot, to it. I see it as a big gamble right now. I don't know if I'd necessarily like recommend it, but I was kind of hearing some rumors that maybe it was poised for a little bit of a breakout because of maybe the Chinese market kind of getting into it and having some adoption there. So I took a little bit of a risk, and so sometimes I like just throwing some ETH around. That's one I'm kind of just throwing some ETH at, see what happens. I'm not, going to sit here and say that I know for sure if it's a legitimate project or not. Kind of, in my estimation, when I'm looking at a lot of these projects, I'm kind of trying to give my best, insights into what I believe, is this project going to be a sustainable one. The Linea one looks interesting. So, I mean, I do also want to. I've been getting a little bit more into the party, like the Platypus, the P5, that whole project. I haven't quite invested in it yet, but I've been learning a little bit more about that. I do like that project, and that's one I probably want to figure out, some different strategies for, because it is a little bit different. And there was a little bit of like, you have like the P5 one is one where you're basically like 99% of what you're putting in is being dispersed into dividends into the contract. So it's you're seeing some of the extremes of kind of what we've seen in the smart contract space, and that tends to be like the one that at least has a little bit more interest right now. Like I'm more interested in kind of what's going on in the decentralized application space as opposed to the the altcoin market and some of the altcoins in the top 100. But I did get away a little bit more away from like talking about privacy coins. I mean, I probably want to do a little bit of an update on that, because I was kind of big into that a little bit earlier this year. Only time will tell if Linea is legit, but I give it a try. OmniDex have cloned Linea. I don't know OmniDex. Party Snowfall Pot has more ETH in it than FOMO Quake, and we just got it started. Yeah, there's a lot of developments on that project. Like that's, I think, one of the things we're going to see in the next few months is we're going to see a lot of people creating some very creative, decentralized projects. I think we're going to see more and more of those in the next several months. I was talking with David actually quite a bit about some of the stuff that he's doing, and they got some really interesting stuff that they're working on. So I kind of like what they're working on. I'm always let's take a look at arbitrage and see. Now that we've got a little bit of metrics on CoinMarketCap, it pumped and then kind of came way down. Currently, it's pretty down right now. Sometimes it's a little bit difficult to kind of understand like why the price is coming as low as it is with some of the developments that we've seen. But this was much higher before. What were we seeing this at? Maybe we could pull this out. Well, I guess it's maybe not going to give us too much of that data, but yeah, I think part of it is just because Ethereum is just like it's like $400. If Ethereum gets back to $500, that makes a lot of these smart Ethereum-based smart contracts more profitable or whatnot. But It pumped, and then people sold ARB for ETH to get into the vault. Did they just do? Have they released the vault yet? I guess I haven't. I haven't checked into that. I haven't logged into my account. I'm not going to do it right now, but I think some changes are being made to the ARB exchange or something. Okay, I have to look into it a little bit more. It's not out yet. Okay, yeah, I didn't think it was, but I think we're getting some people who are interested. I like the idea of kind of being able to just like the idea of how they have the staking process with Ethereum. I think that's going to be an interesting one. So, but all right, guys, I can't stay on too long. I got to take a phone call here in a little bit, and talking with a lot of different people, discussing a lot of interesting things. So I've got a lot on my mind. If you want to chat my Discord, getting into more something like that. So, all right, guys, appreciate you all staying online. I'll catch you on the next one.